Tonight, we continue our in-depth look at school safety. An East Tennessee Sheriff's Office boasts one of the state's first programs. Our Will Puckett has been investigating several aspects of school safety. Will, right now a Blount County Sheriff's deputy says you cannot replicate the impact of a trained deputy in a school.
Yeah, Ted, Lieutenant Joe Seaton is that deputy. He's worked the school beat for more than 2 decades now. This school year actually marks 21 years protecting kids and faculty inside of Blount County schools. With more attention now being paid to school safety than ever before, Lieutenant Seaton and I talked about the impact an SRO has. This might seem like a simple front of a school building, but this white SUV with green letters has a greater impact than one can imagine.
We're here to help. I know that kind of may be vague, but we are really here to help. We're an asset to you.
It represents the presence of a person like Lieutenant Joe Seaton.
How are you?
A trained law enforcement officer walking the hallways of a school building each and every day.
A lot of these children, a lot of these adults in the school, the teachers, even the parents, look at that school resource officer, at us, as being their personal law enforcement officer. And that's great because we can help a whole lot of people with just that single mindset.
For 2 decades and a year, Lieutenant Seaton has protected schools in Blount County, representing a program that's existed since the 1990s, leading one of the state's pilot programs for school security. The Blount County Sheriff's Office staffs officers in 32 schools, but not every county has this kind of coverage. From 2019 to 2020, 23,400 school resource officers were trained in the United States, according to a Bureau of Justice Statistics report. That same report says SROs responded most often to drug possession issues, followed by fighting. Those same officers also responding to faculty, facility, and student threats more than 30% of the time that year.
Sometimes it can be difficult just because of the culture some of those kids grew up in.
On this day, Lieutenant Seaton is patrolling the halls of Eagleton College and Career Academy. It's not his normal operating base, but one he's happy to fill in at.
It's one of the best parts of, in my opinion, law enforcement because we get to see good things on a regular basis.
His role, protecting who's inside. In doing that, he builds relationships with kids that otherwise might not have had a positive view of the men and women in blue.
Hi, ladies. How are you?
It's the growth in the students, Seaton says, that makes the hard days worth it.
I tell all the SROs that each one of these kids in the school, you should look at those children as being your own children. And so you're actually seeing these kids grow up in front of your eyes, much like your own personal kids, your own personal children. So that's super important and super fun.
Worth checking doors, worth walking halls, and worth keeping an eye out every day to make sure the minds and personalities here do what they're here to do, learn.
We're here to help. That's why we're here. We're here to keep you safe. We're here to make sure things are okay and to give a good, safe environment so that the kids and teachers can come and learn in a good, safe environment.
Now, Lieutenant Seaton has worked in elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools. In his time at Blount County, he says all of them bring different challenges and rewards, but says his favorite is probably high school, Ted.
All right, we're also learning about SROs in other East Tennessee counties.
Yeah, we obtained the state school security and resource grant for the 2nd and 3rd quarters of last school year. In that, we see which school districts are participating in the state's grant program, and it outlines the difference between what a school resource officer is and what a school security officer is. Ted, you can find all of that right now inside the WVLT News app.
All right. Will Puckett, thanks a lot.